Hey guys, welcome to another commentary done by Diggity. This is another StarCraft 2 commentary, and this is essentially going to be a demonstration of roaches and how powerful and effective they are and various abilities therein. And I'll also kind of give a small demonstration of Reapers and how not to use them. This is the first game I lost, and I'm going to look like a terrible StarCraft player that is very much deserved because I'm not a very good StarCraft player, or StarCraft 2 at this stage. This is the first loss I actually racked up, so I think it was my 7th game, maybe my 8th game, but this is my first loss, and it's because I have no idea where detection is on the tech tree, and roaches are a lot different than they were in the last beta I played. So essentially my strategy going into this was to kind of play around with Reapers and see how they would kind of work in this matchup. I heard that they were effective. This is not a very good map for Reapers. This is Lost Oasis, I believe. So you can see it's got kind of this cliff area around the mineral line, and that's really not good for Reapers. This little area is good for Reapers, where you can hop back up and down. But you can see it's right along kind of that natural defense point. So I'm not sure this is a very good map for Reapers at this stage. Really, you want to have kind of wide open areas where they can just retreat and fall back and hop off the cliff. Lots of little sections like that. So this is actually not going to work out. What I probably should have done in retrospect is gone Hellions, because this is a pretty wide choke, or gone Air right off the bat. And then in retrospect, yeah, I really wish I had gone Air right off the bat, because I probably would have won the game. I don't do a lot of scouting, especially in these early games. I will send out that initial SCV just to make sure they're not doing any sort of suicide fast expansion stuff. But yeah, I just go in to make sure they're building their spawning pool and make sure they're taking gas, things like that. Because even if I did have that scout against Zerg at this stage, against Protoss and Terran I have a little better idea depending on what they're doing, because I've played a little bit more Protoss and Terran up to here. Isn't that beautiful, that graphic? I love this beta. Just visually, it's great. This is actually, they're going to have a very short beta, because this game is really, really, really nice already. I mean, it's really fun to play already, even. But anyway, yeah, you can see I'll just go up. I'll be like, okay, yeah, he is there. He's not fast expanding. Things like that. I saw the spawning pool, saw the 2 gas, so I figured he was going to attack. Little things like that. But otherwise, I don't stick around, because I honestly don't know how to react off the scout, and I'd rather have that SCV in my base giving me the extra minerals, if otherwise it's going just to waste. One thing I will say for Terran players, just in general, get your orbital command center as fast as possible. Basically, yeah, that should be your first upgrade. Seal off your front door, get your orbital command center, because mules are very, very, very good units. I actually built this front door a little bit. I would build this differently now, I think. Put that barracks right, or put that supply depot right there, and maybe put a tech lab across, because that tech lab would actually, first of all, it'd be more useful to me in general if they only go to the right. And also that would create a seal, and I'd have a tech lab on top of it. What the tech labs do, by the way, is they let me build Marauders, the higher upgrade units. Marauders, Reapers, Ghosts. I still haven't messed around with Ghosts at all. Marauders are essentially kind of like tankier Marines. They're more hardcore, heavy-duty Marines, and additionally they kind of slow units as they're moving across. They're very effective against Zealots. And otherwise, there's also the reactor, and the reactor lets you build multiple units at a time. And that's, I think, the last commentary I said, oh, because of tech labs, the economy switches over faster. And there's a mule right there. He's got that energy that'll wind down. But he grabs a lot of minerals for me very, very quickly. It's awesome. Look at that. Orders. But what I was going to say is, you'll see me kind of go for an early expansion in this match. That's how I've been playing most of these matches, is going for a resource lead, because again, I feel like in StarCraft 2, because of queens and spawn larvae, because of the reactors, because of things that let you just produce a lot of units very, very rapidly, you'll see a much shorter time period between when you get an economic advantage and when that economic advantage is functional for you. A lot faster than in the original StarCraft, where you kind of have to play catch up a little bit more. I feel like you can also do a lot more at the same time as well. Anyway, my opponent here, as promised, is going straight to Roach. He's actually going to be upgrading Tunnel Claws first, and basically what you have, Roach is almost filling the role of lurkers. So they have the Tunnel Claws, which allows them to move while burrowed. I think burrow is also being researched. Actually, it looks like we're seeing a tech delay. I'm not sure if roaches get burrow. It doesn't look like they get burrow automatically, but burrow plus roaches is very, very powerful. essentially, yeah, they turn into Dark Templar, moving, heavy, tanky Dark Templar. And they're a great unit for biological damage. If, in retrospect, I wouldn't have messed around with bio against Zerg, I would have gone siege tanks or something else. Again, it just comes down to not know. Look at that beautiful. Actually, never mind. This isn't that bad because I think this is where I was putting down the command center and I was putting down a couple other stuff. So that extra mineral, I don't feel too bad about mineral. The idea of this command center is feeling like messing around with orbital defenses. So I was thinking, oh yeah, I'll build, if this comes under attack, I'll just turn it, or the planetary defense, I'll just make that and turn it into that. Looks like I'm missing a mule right here. Maybe I'll get back to it. Also have an idle SCV. Look how pro I am. Look at all the scattered units and the beautiful layout here. That's just completely awful. Anyway, but my opponent in the meantime just going straight to roaches. And just, yeah, he's going to play that strategy, and he's also going to use kind of cloaking, and that is essentially what will win him the game, because I do not know where detection is anywhere on my tech tree. I didn't even know if engineering bays or that turrets, if they continue to detect, which they do. That's probably what I should have gone for initially, but I was thinking, I'm like, do those detect? What I need is that flying thing, and I didn't know where to build the flying thing, the Raven essentially.